Words so sharp, they cut right through. Real talk for the soul's appeal. Prayers rise up the wounds they heal. Lift our voices to the sky. A righteous perspective high. On this path we won't back down. For the Father wears the crown. Each step brings another fight. Breaking chains, we're seeking light. Voice of power won't be tamed. With his love, we're never ashamed. Lift our voices to the sky. A righteous perspective high. On this path we won't back down. For the Father wears the crown. From the ashes we shall rise. Hope is found deep in our eyes. Every word a battle cry. With the Father none deny.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ARP in the morning. I'm your host, Wise Man. I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. I'm sure you see the channel, what do you call it? I guess symbol. I got a medical issue going on. I guess if you want to call that. I ate something crazy last night, and it wasn't crazy. But I ate something. I'm not exactly sure what I ate, but it gave me an allergic reaction. I woke up and my lips are swollen. So I'm not turning on my camera today, but I did want to be here because outside of that, I feel fine. But yeah, I had an allergic reaction to something. And the crazy thing is that for my 45 years of life, I never been allergic to anything. I've never been allergic to anything. Praise the Lord. But over the past, I guess maybe 3 or 4 months, I found out that I am allergic to turmeric and different spices. So I have to be really careful, about what I eat because of the spice that's used. And it's crazy. So my lips, I woke up this morning and I could feel like the tingling sensation. I go and look in the mirror and lo and behold, yes, I had an allergic reaction to something. That I ate yesterday, and I was eating some Mediterranean food yesterday. So I'm sure you guys know that there's a lot of spices and things of that nature that goes in there. But I found out that I'm allergic to turmeric and a few other spices out there. So I have to be very, very careful, when it comes to eating food and having a full understanding of what type of spices are being used in the food. It's crazy. It is crazy, man, but I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. God bless each and every one of you guys on this fine Wednesday, hump day, middle of the week, a couple days to the weekend. But we're gonna be thankful for the day. I think so many of us, man, we live from Monday to Friday, can't wait to get to the weekend. But we need to start thanking God for every day that He gives us, even if it's a work day. And honestly, I know a lot of folks out there that can't stand their jobs and maybe they can't stand coworkers or bosses or whatever the case may be, man. But be thankful that you even have a position, especially with what has been going on over the past, 4 or 5 years. There's been tons of layoffs and people getting fired and, company downsizing. And then obviously, with what's going on with the federal government, downsizing there. And people have been out of work. So if you are, still working, hey, just continue to, praise the Lord that you have an opportunity and you have a position that would afford you the ability to take care of yourself and your family, you know. So I appreciate you guys. So the camera will not be on today. It will not be on, but the show must go on, right? So we're going to do this radio style, podcast style. The show must go on. And before we get started, man, I want to make sure I show some love to my folks in the chat. Appreciate you guys pulling up. And I got to start with my blues because these are the first people in the daggone chat early this morning. Shout out to ZFIRK9. Shout out to B. Shout out to Lori Addison. Appreciate you all. Appreciate you all. And also LJ, appreciate you, sister. The video you sent over yesterday, it made me so daggone mad. I watched the video and I watched Corey. A little bit. I don't have a lot of time to watch, other folks' content, but he is a channel that, I like to watch. And I can't say that I agree with everything, but, I agree with enough. And that video was spot on. And I'm sitting there watching it and I'm like, this is upsetting me. I am getting upset. And I said, oh no, we got to do a reaction because I saw it didn't have a lot of views. I was like, we got to bring some attention to this. So thank you, LJ, for sending that over. If any of you guys would like to send over anything that you would like me to cover, please send it my way. Thank you, Hunter. He's been doing it as well. Appreciate you, brother. For sending things over to me. It is not a, I promise you, it's greatly appreciated. And I don't look at it as, you guys being bothersome or something along those lines. I look at you guys, as being team members and partners, in this, and helping me because I'm one man. I can't see everything. So I appreciate you guys, those that do. And if you're on, TikTok, I know some of you guys aren't, but if you find and run across things that are on TikTok that you feel like needs to be discussed and covered, please send it my way. My email address is in the, description box and on the channel and so forth and so on. So thank you guys very much. Shout out to Toy Mafia. Shout out to Marla. My guy Hunter in the building always comes through with the Bible verse says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Thank you, Hunter. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much. What's up, Mark Galvin? Nashville in the building. What's up, Malachi? How you doing this morning, brother? Be safe out there, man. Y'all make sure y'all keep Malachi lifted up in prayer, traveling graces, and all my truck drivers out there. I know Kenny Cooper, he's out there on the road as well. Let's keep our truck drivers lifted up in prayer as they travel up and down, these highways, up and down the highways all across the country, providing a solid service for the masses across the country. What's going on, Sugar Shane? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's going on, Mama's Sunflowers Cottage? Thank you very much for pulling up this morning. We got Info Equal Wars in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Papa Died. What's going on? Lubian Fishing. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Appreciate you. Maybe it's Lubin Fishing. What's going on, Cool Ramon? Appreciate you. Hadassah Inspires. What's up with you, sister? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Spirit Walker Yoda. Appreciate you pulling up. What's up, Carol Reyes? How you doing this morning? New Blue. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. And y'all follow her instructions. Make sure y'all hit that like button and share the stream. There's some folks that are going to need to hear what we got to talk about today. Thank you all very much. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. What's up, Angela Montgomery? Appreciate you pulling up. New Jersey in the building. Amber Young, Nelly. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Papa Died. What's going on? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Who else we got up in here? John Q Public. Appreciate you. Let's see who else we got up in here this morning. All right. Okay, I see it. Katrina Luan. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. JJ O'Hara in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's up, Ed? How's it going this morning? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Oh, Ed says, predict that Wise's Christmas present from us will be 500,000 subs. Lord willing, from your mouth to God's ears. It is awesome. What's up, Nanny? How you doing this morning? Thank you very much for pulling up as always. Appreciate you. What's up, Melissa? Aloha. Honolulu in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. We got Larry Montgomery in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Who else we got up in here early? Guys chatting it up. What's up, Jane Fecto? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you. AK Bauer in the building. Chilly Northeast PA. I haven't been outside today. All right. Yeah. Brett Montgomery in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Donald Lovejoy in the building. Colorado in the house. Shout out. Shout out. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Matthew Hatton out of Colorado as well. We got Dina de Guzman. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. We got Vernon W53, W53. Sorry about that. But out of Woodbridge, Virginia. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. I hope you are voting for Winsome Sears out there. I want to see Winsome Sears become the next governor of the state of Virginia. I hope you are telling anybody and everybody that will listen that this is who you need to support. What's up, Mr. Largy? How's it going this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. LHF Guardian Rob, appreciate you pulling up this morning. All right, make sure you show Lori's Addison's roommate. Show her some love. Happy birthday to your roommate. Thank you. Angel R in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's up, Chester? How you doing this morning? D. Surrey out of New Hampshire. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's up, Leslie Aaron? What's up, Omega? Grace and peace to you as well. Appreciate you. Appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. Joan Simone, appreciate you pulling up. Georgia in the building. Yeah, y'all pulled out a tight one last week. All right. Chisaxi, hopefully I pronounced that properly, out of Fort Worth, Texas. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. Doc Holiday in the building. What's up, C. Bergie? What's going on? Beautifully Flawed, a.k.a. Lisa. Appreciate you pulling up. Leslie, Kingsville, Ohio in the building. What's up, Gerard Caswell? It's good to see you, brother. It's good to see you up in here this morning. We got Peter Suzanne. Hopefully I pronounced that properly. Appreciate you. DeSarah Wyatt, appreciate you pulling up this morning. Hopefully I pronounced that properly. What's up, Jose Ramirez? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Lauren Parrish, appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you guys very much. What's up, DI? Another new blue. Thank you very much. And I appreciate you supporting the channel and helping to keep things peaceful in the chat. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're going to get things started, man. Shout out to Eric Simon out of Greenville, South Carolina. Says he's out of Beaufort, Georgia, on the way to Greenville, South Carolina. All right, man. Be safe out there on the road, brother. Edwin Santiago, thank you very much for pulling up this morning. Appreciate you. Captain Tom in the building. Shout out to you. What's up, Queen Chloe, also known as Broke Chloe? Appreciate you pulling up this morning, sisters. Thank you very much. What's up, Robin? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. We got Robert Day in the house. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. All right. Is it Dion or Dione? Hopefully I pronounced that. Reyes out of Illinois. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. What's up, Joseph Orsini? Appreciate you pulling up this morning, brother. Hope all is well. All righty. Leslie Aaron said, after 40, things go downhill. Just random ailments appear. Yeah. One of my friends at the gym, she was walking around with a boot, on her leg, on her foot. And I was like, what happened? She's like, I don't know what happened. I just woke up and next thing you know, my foot was hurting. Goes to the doctor. They tell her you got a bruise. She's like, I don't know what I did. I was like, kick something or something. She's like, I don't know. It's crazy. It is crazy. But yeah, I'm going to get through this. I did take a couple Benadryls. I did do that. I did pop a couple Benadryls, but if you know anything about the Benadryls, anytime I have to take them, they make me daggone sleepy. I do not have an EpiPen. I don't have that. But typically, when I have had some allergic reactions, I just, take a couple Benadryls, sleep it off, and I'm fine. So I woke up this morning, I took a couple Benadryl. So, when I'm done here, I think I'm gonna go get back into bed and go to sleep. Because y'all know what the bennies do. They will put you out. They will knock you out. But appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys for pulling up this morning. Captain Tom said, was there fish? Yeah, I had some salmon yesterday. But wifey made it at the house. So I think it was, some of the hummus, or I had some hummus and pita chips, and I'm thinking it was there because typically there's different spices and stuff like that that's in there. And I'm for certain they use a lot of turmeric and yeah. But yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, Eric, that's the same thing that happened to my son. He's 24 now, and he was like, Dad, we used to, eat, shrimp and stuff like that. And he found out right around about 21, 22 years old that he was allergic to shellfish, so he can't eat it anymore. Which is wild because like me, he didn't grow up with any allergies or anything along those lines. I mean, it's crazy. It is crazy. But we're going to get the show started. What's going on, Jasmine? Good morning to you as well. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. And L is my Yeshua, Isaiah 12, chapter 2. Thank you very much for pulling up as well. Thank you very much. Appreciate you all. So we're going to get things started. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Super chat, super thanks will be greatly appreciated. Appreciate you guys. But the number one way to support the channel, obviously, is watching videos all the way through, hitting that like button, and sharing the content. Hands down, the best way to support what we're doing over here at ARP. Again, I want to say grand rising, peace and grace to each and every one of you all. And thank you to my ARP family members. I appreciate you guys, doing what you do and supporting what we're doing over here at ARP in the morning and at A Righteous Perspective in general, the channel itself. Shout out to RJ Hudson. Appreciate you, South Cac in the building. What's up, Robert Dalton? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. And Ashley Michelle, y'all listen to her. Get the daggone likes up. Let's go. Thank you, Ashley. Steve Mac Daddy. I know you old school. Yeah. Frank asks, where is the gray beard? Hey, I'm looking forward to it going all the way gray. Gray, just super gray. I'm looking forward to it. What's up, Steve Edminster? How you doing, man? Appreciate you pulling up. Appreciate you. But we're going to get the show started, man. Again, hit that like button. If you haven't done so already. Without further ado, let's go.
Today, after reviewing the evidence that law enforcement has collected thus far, I am filing a criminal information charging Tyler James Robinson, age 22, with the following crimes. Count 1, aggravated murder, a capital offense, for intentionally or knowingly causing the death of Charlie Kirk under circumstances that created a great risk of death to others. Count 2, felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, a first-degree felony. The state is further alleging aggravating factors on counts 1 and 2 because the defendant is believed to have targeted Charlie Kirk based on Charlie Kirk's political expression and did so knowing that children were present and would witness the homicide. The state is also charging defendant with count 3, obstruction of justice, a second-degree felony for moving and concealing the rifle used in the shooting. Count 4, obstruction of justice, a second-degree felony for disposing the clothing he wore during the shooting. Count 5, witness tampering, a third-degree felony for directing his roommate to delete his incriminating texts. Count 6, witness tampering, a third-degree felony for directing his roommate to stay silent if police questioned him. And count 7, commission of a violent offense in the presence of a child, a Class A misdemeanor, for committing homicide, knowing that children were present and may have seen or heard the murder and did so based on Charlie Kirk's political expression. Also, following the press conference, I am filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. I do not take this decision lightly, and it is a decision I have made independently as county attorney, based solely on the available evidence and circumstances and nature of the crime. Because we are seeking the death penalty, the defendant will continue to be held without bail in the Utah County Jail.
Alrighty, so Tyler Robinson has been formally charged with first-degree aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm, obstruction of justice, tampering with witnesses, and other related offenses. The leading prosecutor also filed a notice of intent to seek the death penalty, a decision that he said he reached strictly on the evidence and the nature of the crime. The details are ugly and specific. Instigators recovered text exchanges between Robinson and his roommate, a biological male who identified as a transgender woman, in which Robinson allegedly boasted about having taken out Charlie Kirk. He described plans to retrieve a rifle from a hidden drop point and instructed the roommate to delete messages and destroy evidence. This guy is something else, to say the least.
72 hours.
Von Hilliard, thank you.
Turning to
Sorry about that. Right, so there's even a photo of a note found under Robinson's keyboard that read, "I had the opportunity to take Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." You know, prosecutors say that Robinson texted his roommate about hiding a rifle, worrying about family seeing the news, and even begged him to delete their messages. Forensics tied his DNA to the weapon, and unique markings on the rounds linked directly back to him. I mean, it was Robinson's own parents who recognized him from surveillance footage and noticed a missing rifle at home. That led to his surrender with the help of a family friend who's a retired deputy. Investigators say this wasn't random. Robinson had grown politically radical, argued with family, and admitted he believed Kirk spread hateful rhetoric. The county attorney calls this a premeditated first-degree capital crime. And in Utah, that carries the harshest penalties. Even the possibility of a firing squad. Even the possibility of a firing squad. The evidence, digital, physical, and forensics, it's overwhelming. And let's be clear, this was not spontaneous. This was political. It was a planned hit. And while MSDNC tried to spin the motives, the facts tell a different story. But let's take a listen to them.
Stay close, and joining us now is criminologist Casey Jordan. Casey, so much happening so quickly here this morning. We're learning as well from our own reporting that there's no indication of a prior criminal record. This is according to searches of state national public records associated with the person, Tyler Robinson, and his date of birth. One of the most striking details that we learned from this press conference were, again, about those bullet casings and the inscriptions, "Hey, fascist," the words "Bella Ciao," the words "If you read this, you are gay." What do you see as the significance or what the message is that he's trying to communicate here?
Really, I would need to actually see these words in the way that they are on the bullet casings in the gun to make a proper interpretation. But just knowing what those words are, I'm kind of overwhelmed with how immature it all sounds, and that there is no really chronic theme. I think Brandy really nailed it. You have to make of it what you want, because, you know, it's like sees bulges, if you're reading this, you're gay, you know, catch this fascist, or hey fascist, catch. It's like the rantings of a really immature immature child. And we really need to learn a lot more about what was going on in this accused shooter's life when all of this was happening. Was he in a rabbit hole? Did he have no job? Did he have no purpose? How did he become such a consumer of hate? That his family reports
All right, so I'm a big proponent of actually trying to help people with mental health issues. We've talked about this on the channel. I believe that America, has a mental health crisis going on in our nation. So I'm a huge proponent of helping those that suffer from mental illness. But this wasn't that. This was a cold-blooded murder perpetrated by an individual who was motivated by political disagreements. Yeah. So no theme, when it comes to the bullet casing. Seriously. He literally wrote, "Hey fascists, catch," and Antifa phrases on bullet casings. But let these people tell it that there's no theme here. These are some of the most phony people on TV right now, to be honest with you. I mean, it's surprising that they're allowing all of this to continue on air. Now, I'm obviously a big proponent of free speech. I'm just saying, how do they continue to sustain this when no one's really watching? They're not really making money, but they're continuing to, on a day-to-day basis, push false narratives and spread propaganda. From the indictment of Tyler Robinson, questions of motive are now pretty definitively solved. Robinson texted his roommate that he had enough. Hey, he was done listening to Charlie Kirk. He had enough of his hatred. And he thought it would be funny if conservative media had to report the internet meme messages on the bullets. And he was concerned about his dad going, and I quote, "Die hard MAGA." He was concerned. This is from him. Oh, man. But to make things worse, or to make matters worse, after this text exchange was made publicly, you got the media now basically gushing over these texts. I want you guys to listen to this.
An alleged murder with such specific text messages about the alleged murder weapon, where it was hidden, how it was placed, what was on it, but also it was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect's roommate and the suspect himself, with him repeatedly calling his roommate, who is transitioning, calling him "my love," and "I want to protect you, my love." So it was this duality of someone who the attorney said not only jeopardized the life of Charlie Kirk and the crowd, but was doing it in front of children, which is one of the aggravating circumstances of this case. And on the other hand, he was, speaking so lovingly about his partner. So a very interesting and, as Pierre said, riveting press conference, David.
It was tough.
All righty. Oh, man. This guy, I couldn't believe what I saw. That's what he said. The media turning, an assassination into a Hallmark drama. Not one word for Charlie's family, not one word for a community terrorized, just, sympathy for the killer and his so-called quote unquote love story. That's not journalism. That's, narrative laundering. And let's not forget, for days, leftist pundits, blue check journalists, and Democratic activists tried to pin this on conservatives. No evidence, no facts, just a gleeful smear. I mean, they owe Charlie's family an apology, but we know that they'll never give one. We know this. Now, Utah law still allows the firing squad, and the prosecutor reminded everyone of that. 5 rifles, 1 blank. Nobody knows who fired the fatal shot. Some call it gruesome. I call it justice. I think we talked about this earlier this week, and somebody had mentioned the need to bring back capital punishment in a way that reminds people that you can't just be out here acting all willy-nilly. You can't be out here just acting crazy and think that and just and think that there's no consequences. You can't, because America cannot survive if political violence goes unpunished. The moment one side decides, killing opponents, is acceptable, democracy dies. And the terrifying truth is Robinson is not alone. Studies show a disturbing number of very liberal Americans believing that political violence is justified and even celebrated. And that's the reality that we're facing in our nation right now. It's very, very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Killing, murdering, assassinating political opponents is now in the realm of acceptable response when it comes to someone like an Elon Musk or a Trump, for example. I mean, let's take a look at how many people would be okay with killing him because he doesn't fit their narrative. I mean, this is insanity. These people have lost their daggone minds.
Reveals political violence is becoming more and more normalized, especially on the left. Our William Lajeunesse has been digging into this report. So what does this say? Well,
Aisha, there's actually 2 surveys that suggest there is a growing tolerance, even support for political violence, especially on the political left, according to a research lab at Rutgers University that study dangerous ideology. In a poll of 2,600 Americans, younger online users who self-identify as liberal or progressive say political violence, including assassinations, is acceptable. 50 to 56% of those progressive users say killing Elon Musk or President Trump is somewhat justified. Then 59% of those polled who call themselves left of center say it's at least somewhat acceptable to destroy a Tesla dealership to protest. And finally, social media, of course, being online makes it worse. The researchers found the platform Blue Sky, the Democrat alternative to X, quote, plays a significant and predictive role in amplifying radical ideas.
The left really has much more of a, I don't talk to you, I don't want to deal with you, you're deplorable, I can't break bread with you. Yeah. That attitude, and like all the right-wingers, they don't have that attitude.
So in a separate U.gov survey of 3,000 adults conducted after the killing of Charlie Kirk, a similar finding, right? 72% of Americans said violence is never justified. 11% said it can sometimes be justified. But look at this. Self-identified liberals felt differently. 21% violence is justified to achieve political goals, compared to just 4% of conservatives.
This violence has to end. It's the political left. Soros works in conjunction with the Democratic National Committee and other foundations to support these radical groups across the country that has led to this unprecedented historical violence.
So the number of posts on Blue Sky celebrating Kirk's death got so bad, the site was forced to warn users, quote, glorifying violence or harm violates their community guidelines. And at that first study, Aisha, from the Network Contagion Research Institute, they get money from a variety of sources, including the federal government, and the research is recognized by some 300 universities. Back to you.
I mean, the research is out there, so it's important to take a look at it. William Lajeunesse, live for us. Thank you,
Let's
William.
bring in our colleague.
Let's sit with this for a second. Over half of progressives, 50 to 56%, say killing Elon Musk or Donald Trump would be at least somewhat justified. 50 to 56% of liberals think like this. That's a majority. Another 59% said torching Tesla dealerships, would be acceptable. And platforms like Blue Sky, the left's, a lot of leftists moved over from X to Blue Skies once Elon bought it and made it a platform for free speech. They're amplifying this radical thinking. I mean, Robinson himself admitted in text why he killed Charlie Kirk. He called Kirk hateful, said he'd been planning the attack for over a week, and worried about holding grandpa's rifle. I mean, this man fingerprints was there. Even instructing his roommate to delete evidence. I mean, that's not confusion. That's not, oh, a guy that made a mistake. No, that's what you would call premeditation. This man thought about it. He planned it. He had a game plan to get out of there. Yet instead of facing facts, the media immediately spun lies, rushing to blame the right. I mean, the gaslighting was not just irresponsible, it was calculated. The evidence is crystal clear. Robinson carried out a political assassination because he believed killing was justified. And the crazy part about it, the most insane part about all of this is that he's not alone in that type of thinking. He's not alone. Polling shows that 42% of liberals say political violence is justified. 42%, 4 out of 10 liberals believe that political violence is justified. And a third of that says that celebrating assassinations is just fine. I mean, folks, that's not democracy. That is just evil. It's a spiritual sickness. We've been calling the Democrat Party what they've been for a long time. They have been and always will be the party of death and destruction. Not much has changed. Nothing has changed with these people other than their tactics. I mean, Charlie Kirk, he warned that this was coming, an assassination culture on the left, and they laughed at him. But he was absolutely right. And now we even hear influencers like Destiny using rhetoric that encourages unrest and hostility. I mean, this is where their words lead. I mean, come on now.
And a
statistics?
Not exactly like.
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear. Like, I don't know. It's like memes. It's just memes to everybody, I guess. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't care. I'm playing video games. Okay, I'm done today. I don't give a fuck. God, it's going to be so fucking gay if I get killed in the next fucking 2 months of shit I'm doing. Well, the cucked shit out here. Please don't anybody make any actual fucking, the most cucked, weak-ass, fucking bullshit-ass speeches on my side. God, if it happens, holy shit, I'm going to make a death note before I go out to go live and not. God, it's so cucked. It's so optics cucked.
Cox has made it clear that their investigation has now established that he had been radicalized by a leftist ideology, which drove him to do this. That's just
I'm sorry, excuse me, when?
Yesterday, he said that.
No. When was he radicalized? In the 6 months that he did remote college?
I don't know when he was radicalized, but I do know.
What you just said
I do
is not
know
true.
the very reasonable sounding governor of Utah has made it clear that the
he hasn't made it
you may
clear.
not want
he
to
said
hear
this. Is
this.
An ongoing investigation.
You may not want to hear it,
hear
Destiny. But the reality is, the investigators, according to the governor of Utah, have established that he was radicalized to a leftist ideology that drove him to murder Charlie Kirk. Now, let me just ask you.
That's just not true.
Let me just ask
no
you.
way to deal with it.
Okay,
you're living in
you're accusing the governor of lying.
Yeah.
That's your prerogative. But
sure.
If it turns out to have been somebody with a leftist ideology who wanted to shut up Charlie Kirk, would you condemn that?
I won't condemn anything until the president of the United States can go on air and say, all of us need to calm down.
So you won't condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk until Donald Trump says something.
I'm a YouTuber. Leftists and Democrats have been condemning and turning down the temperature, condemning violence, turning down the temperature for a decade. Donald Trump can't go on TV and say, all of us need to calm down.
Right.
Can you tell me why he cannot?
Why would you expect anybody, Destiny?
You can't answer that. Can you answer that question? Why can't Trump go on TV and say, all of us should be less violent?
Why do you think
Trump say that?
Why do you think
your behavior contingent on Donald Trump?
Insane right now.
Why do you think? No, let me ask a question.
on Donald Trump.
Let me
Why
ask
is
you a
that?
question.
Because he's the president of the United States of America and the leader of the opposing political party.
Let me
You
just...
have a huge audience of young men who
I'm a
listen to
YouTuber
everything you have to
who
say.
has more
So
young
when
men
you,
following
it
him?
doesn't
Who
matter.
has
You have a
more young-
huge
it doesn't
audience,
matter.
and because
This
of
is
the fact that
world
you have a
I'm
huge
living in,
audience,
and
you
your
have
brain
a
has been
responsibility
broken by
to
online
not turn.
rhetoric.
No,
And
it
your
hasn't. It
brain has
hasn't been
been
broken. I actually
destroyed
care
because
about the
people bully
country
you on
and want to bring
Twitter.
people together.
If
You do
then
the
you should tell
opposite.
Donald
You
Trump to tell
represent the
people
worst
to
of us,
be
Destiny.
You know it's wild when Anna Kasparian is the voice of reason on the left. You know it's wild. And I would say that this dude's statements are unbelievable, but they're not. There's a lot of radical leftists out there just like this guy. You know, you have students on college campuses, you know, openly cheering Charlie's death. Social media platforms are scrambling to delete celebrations of his assassination. Some are even treating, you know, his killer like a folk hero of some sort. But here's the truth. Free speech protects offensive ideas. Yes, it does. But when rhetoric fuels violence, when words turn into assassinations, the results are deadly. And the hypocrisy of the left is glaring. It's glaring. They cheer when conservatives lose jobs or get deplatformed, but when their side is exposed, suddenly it's all about free speech. Suddenly they are the you know, champions of the First Amendment. I mean, there is no such thing as hate speech. There is only speech which is protected and violence, which is not. Robinson didn't just rant. He planned, he acted, and he killed. And that's why he now faces the death penalty. Which brings me to another similar case. That of Luigi Mangione, the United Healthcare CEO assassin. This case is being held, it's being held up as proof that political violence in America is not a both sides issue. It's out there. Let me read a couple super chats real quick before we keep going. Thank you, LJ, for the $2 super chat. Says, who saw Montel Williams attempt to gaslight? I haven't seen that yet. Can you send that over to me? And thank you, 2020 Vision, with the $5 super chat. Says, I'm sorry. I'm not just buying. This is the complete truth. This was an op. Or there was a decay and a spotter giving signals, or a decoy, I'm sorry. A decoy and a spotter giving signals. There is more to it than this. I can see that, and I've had a chance to see those videos as well. I would assume that if that is the case, those individuals would catch second charges on their own, and they may not want to put it out there that that is the case because maybe they're still looking for those people. You know, and nowadays you can't just, you know, the police, you know, especially if there is an ongoing investigation, they can't tell you everything. Thank you, LJ, for the $2 super chat. She says, we are looking through the glass of an insane asylum. Yeah, we definitely are. We definitely are. This Mangione character, who is a radical leftist, he assassinated the CEO of the United Healthcare because he despised the healthcare system and the company itself. And what's disturbing is not just the act of murder, it's that large parts of the left have essentially deified this man. They've deified him, turned him into a martyr or even a hero figure of some sort. You know, and there are people openly saying that, you know, he should be celebrated. Some have gone as far as creating AI companions of him, claiming that they're in a relationship with his digital likeness and calling it the future of romance. I mean, it sounds insane. It sounds insane when you hear that, right? That people have created a AI version of this man, a digital likeness of him, and they're in a romantic relationship with this individual. I mean, it sounds as crazy as it is. But this is happening. I mean, these the same people that openly admit that they see him as a hero, despite the fact that he's being charged with a cold-blooded murder. And it was another father snatched away from his family, snatched away from his wife, snatched away from his children. And now, when a New York State judge dismissed state terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione on Tuesday, people on the left cheered. They cheered.
Ben's a fucking pedophile, so I'm glad this is the result.
That's amazing. But that just shows when we're all together, right? They were like, they can't let that shit slide.
Yep.
Guys, this is on everybody, right? Because we didn't let that shit slide. So you know we didn't let that slide. That's right. Free! Luigi! 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 Free! We are living in some evil days. I mean, we're literally watching history repeat itself. We're watching history repeat itself. There's a lot of folks out there that, may look at the Word of God. They may look at the Bible as, a fictional book. They will look at it as a fictional book. Oh, no, it's just a book of made up stories. Dare I say that the United States of America is the modern day Sodom or Gomorrah? Dare I say? It reminds me, of the story of Lot. When, the angels, I think it was 3 angels that came down. And the people realized that, hey, there were some new men that pulled up to the town or the city. And they were banging on this man's door, threatening to kick it down, knock it down, break down the door. Because they wanted those men to have relations with. And Lot tells them, hey, nah, these guys aren't like that. I'll send you my daughters. He was willing to sacrifice his daughters to protect these angels. And they're like, no, we don't want them. Send those men out here. And they were willing to harm Lot to do it. No, send those men out here. Dare I say that we are living in a modern day Sodom and Gomorrah? I mean, this is crazy. The behavior of some of these people are crazy. Now, in the Mangione case, the judge did keep the second-degree murder charges against Luigi Mangione, the man who killed the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. But when the terrorism enhancement was dropped, far-left activists outside the courthouse cheered like it was a victory parade. Antifa flags, anti-capitalist banners celebrating a confessed political assassin. And yet, we're the ones labeled as radicals. Think about it, man. The president was nearly assassinated, and you had people cheer, and you had people upset. Some people cried that the bullet missed by a millimeter. Charlie Kirk was actually killed, and people cheered and people cheered the demise of this man. Riots like BLM caused the most destruction in U.S. history. The most destruction in U.S. history. That wasn't the right. That was the left. And now we see Democrat foot soldiers openly glorifying assassins while the media insists that both sides are guilty. Show me the conservatives celebrating political killings. Show me the conservatives that are asking for it. I can't think of a politician out there, and Lord knows, we talk about them, but I can't think of one that I would like to see killed. I've never seen it. If you have any video footage, I would cover it. Send it my way. But I haven't seen it. Antifa, which Democrats dismiss as just an idea, is openly embracing assassination culture. They even tied Mangione's celebration to Bella Ciao. The same anti-fascist anthem scrawled on Kirk's assassin's bullets. I mean, this isn't random. It's systematic. At the end of the day, it's not both sides. One side has normalized, romanticized, and celebrated political violence. The polling proves it. The videos prove it. The culture proves it. And the media covers it up. The more people see it, the harder it will be to keep selling the lie. Everybody on the left wants to keep you riled up and thinking about race, thinking it's about your, sexual preferences. But no, this is really about good and evil. In that interview that Cat Williams did last year, was that last year? No, it was earlier this year, January, I think. Or was it last? No, it had to be last year. It had to be last year, January, when that came out. And he said that, it's God's side and the other side. And that doesn't matter how much or how little melanin you have. You're either standing on the side of God's truth or you're not. Don't go to hell for these people, man. Don't go to hell for these people thinking you got to ride with them because of their sexual preference. Don't go to hell for these people thinking you got to ride with them because, they have the same amount of melanin that you have. Don't go to hell for these people. Don't do it. That is the biggest lie out there, is thinking that, hey, I have to be with these people who are doing evil, wicked things just because they have a certain amount of melanin. Don't choose your color over the word of God. Don't choose your color because, you feel like you got to side with people, even though you know that they're doing wrong. And that goes for white people, blacks, Hispanics, Asians. It doesn't matter what your ethnicity is. If it's wrong, it is wrong. It doesn't matter. You have entirely too many people out there. Entirely too many people out there going along with evil because they feel like they got to go with the people that quote unquote look like them. How about you go with the people that think like you? How about you go with the people, that have the same heart and compassion as you? There are entirely too many people willing to go to hell with some folks. They're willing to do it because you feel like I got to ride with my color. I got to ride with my ethnicity. No, do not go to hell for these people. Misery loves company. It loves it. Thank you, Katrina, for joining the ARP family this morning. I appreciate you supporting the channel. God bless you, sister. Thank you. Shout out to LHF Guardian Rob with the $5 super chat. Says, living in New York, goodness gracious, I rely on Psalm chapter 23, verse 4 every day. Yeah, I'll walk through the valley of death. I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Yeah, thank you. I think it's time that folks start to wake up, man, and start standing on the side of righteousness. Start standing on the side of righteousness. There are entirely too many people that are making decisions, you know, and making decisions on their life based on things that don't matter. Don't do it. Angela, you're absolutely right. Vince Everett Ellison, he has a documentary called Will You Go to Hell for Me? And I'm telling you, I'm not willing to go to hell for any of you guys. I'm not. There's so much, you know, wickedness and evil that is going on here in America. There's so many people out here stuck in their victimhood. So many people out here harboring, you know, ill will and feelings based off of things that they hadn't actually gone through. And it's sad because you see it and you just shake your head. I see it and I just shake my head, you know, and just, you know, just ask God for these people to repent. And Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Some don't. Some do. But I am somewhat disturbed. I'm not even going to say somewhat disturbed. I am disturbed by some of the things that I've witnessed over the weekend. Some of the things that I've witnessed, you know, that, you know, from some of these churches. And I haven't covered it. I don't know if I will. But I am disturbed because there are a lot of people sitting in churches right now not understanding that, hey, this pastor is sending you to hell right along with them. You sitting there cheering. You sitting there cheering on rhetoric and language that's not going to help you. It's awful, man. It really is. It is awful. And I'm sure some of you all have family members, you know, that believe in a lot of this foolery. They'll tell you that they're a Christian, but they're a pro-choice Christian. You know, they'll tell you that, hey, I'm Christian, but I'm black first. I'm Christian, but I'm Hispanic first. You know, I'm Christian, but I'm white first. I got to ride with my people, irregardless of what the word of God says. I talked about this yesterday in a video that came out, but there are a lot of people out there that are choosing their color over the word. And the thing is that, you know, when people start talking about the Bible and anybody that goes out, you know, and you're debating with folks or you're going out and you're speaking with people, and your understanding and your principles are based off of the word of God. People got to understand that the word of God is a divisive book, a divisive group of books. There's 66. And if you add in the Ethiopian Bible and the remainder, I believe there's 88 books within the text. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I'm right. I believe it's 88 total. 66 in the Bible that most of us have. But you have so many people out there that are siding with the devil because the devil looks like them in that form anyway. But the word of God is divisive. It is divisive. It's extremely divisive. There is no there is no compromise there. There's no compromise there. And so many people are looking for a way to compromise. And there is no way to compromise. And that's what upsets. And that's what's upsets so many of these people on the left, because they're looking for a compromise. You have so many of these pastors out there telling you that it's okay for you to compromise. And when you think about what was said in the word by Jesus, in Luke chapter 12, verse 51 through 53, and I'm gonna keep going. But he says that suppose that I come to give peace on earth, and I tell you no, but rather division. He didn't say I come here for peace on earth. He said I came for division. And from henceforth, there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter. So, yes, the book is divisive. There is no compromise there. There is no compromise. And just because you're right doesn't mean that your spouse is right. And just because you're getting right with the Lord doesn't mean that your brother or your sister is right. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Just watching these clips that came out on X, and obviously this was from sermons over the weekend, and it disturbed me. I am disturbed. Because I see people that are being led to the slaughter by the very person that they believe who is their shepherd. There are a lot of charlatans out there leading their flock to the slaughter. Matthew chapter 10, verse 34 through 36 says, "Don't imagine that I came to bring peace to the earth. I came not to bring peace, but a sword. I have come to set man against his father, a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Your enemies will be right in your own household." Your enemies will be right in your own household. It says that your enemies will be right in your own household. Think about that. So what we're seeing, we honestly shouldn't be surprised. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say I don't feel a certain kind of way about it, because it does disturb me. I'm saddened by some of the things that I've witnessed. I'm sorry, I got off on a tangent. We're going to keep going. And last but not least, you know, with all the bad, something truly remarkable is happening in our country right now. For years, we've had weak men in charge, cowards who refuse to stand up for what's right. And they're finally being shoved aside. They're finally being shoved aside. In their place, real men are stepping forward, full of conviction, declaring that they will not allow radical, degenerate, leftist ideology destroy America. And you can feel it everywhere. People have had enough. People have had enough. This pushback is happening on multiple fronts. Just this week, we heard a powerful speech from J.D. Vance and Stephen Miller, both promising that the full force of the federal government will be used to tear down militant left-wing extremism and salt the earth so it can never take root again. And they're not standing alone. President Trump himself, from the Oval Office, vowed to designate Antifa as a terrorist organization, finally calling them out for their violent, lawless movement that they are. Let's take a listen.
Thank you very much. Yeah, please.
Yes. Given with all the that's going on, Charlie Kirk's assassination and the left-wing, violence going on, do you have plans? And actually, this is a great opportunity with all these. Do you plan on designating Antifa finally a domestic terror organization?
Well, it's something I would do, yeah. If I have support from the people back here, I think we'd start with Pam, I think. But I would, if you give me, I would do that 100%, and others also, by the way. But Antifa is terrible.
Are there other groups that you can make up?
There are other groups, yeah, there are other groups. We have some pretty radical groups, and they got away with murder. And also, I've been speaking to the Attorney General about bringing RICO against some of the people that you've been reading about that have been putting up millions and millions of dollars for agitation. These aren't protests. These are crimes, what they're doing, where they're throwing bricks at cars of ICE and Border Patrol. And they come in with a beautiful new car. They're so proud. It's Border Patrol, ICE, you know, it's got whatever it is. And they're throwing rocks at it.
Yeah. If you want a case study in the Democratic Party rot, look at Adam Schiff. Look no further than Adam Schiff. I mean, he's been accused of mortgage fraud, censored by the House, probed for ethics violations, and infamous for leaking classified information to smear Trump during the Russia hoax. And instead of accountability, Democrats rewarded him with a Senate seat. But that promotion isn't going so well. Sitting across from him now is FBI Director Kash Patel, who absolutely destroyed this man. Absolutely destroyed him. Patel told Schiff to his face that he's the biggest fraud ever to sit in the Senate, calling him out for weaponizing intelligence, lying to the public, and turning his office into a circus to raise money off false narratives. I want you guys to see this, man.
People to believe that? Do you think they're stupid?
No. I think the American people believe the truth, that I'm not in the weeds on the everyday movements of
you're
inmates.
Not in the weeds?
What I am doing is protecting this country, providing historic reform, and combating the weaponization of intelligence by the likes of you. And we have countlessly proven you to be a liar in Russiagate, in January 6th. You are the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate. You are a disgrace to this institution and an utter coward.
I'm not surprised
I'm not surprised that you continue to lie from your perch and put on a show so you can go raise money for your charade.
Oh, man. Hey, I'm not going to lie to you. Satisfying to watch. Satisfying to watch. No lies detected.
You're a political buffoon at best.
Well, you can take an internet troll.
Take it to the bank that the FBI is protecting this country and the state and citizens of California. We are bringing historic reform.
Point of order.
But all you care about is a child sex predator that was prosecuted by a prior administration, and the Obama Justice Department and the Biden Justice Department did squat. And what did President Trump do? Bring new charges courageously. And what have we done?
Chairman,
you said I'm the most
control of this
transparent FBI director in history. 33,000 pages of information to you. I challenge you to say anything credibly to the truth. Go ahead and run to the cameras where you want to go now.
Both of you be quiet.
In spaces, to answer your question, yes. Yes. Now, I'll be honest. You know, I've had mixed feelings about Kash Patel running the FBI right now. You know, I've had some mixed feelings about it. But, you know, running the FBI now is like steering a ship through a hurricane. It is. The bureaucracy is entrenched. The swamp resists every change, and critics say that he's been too slow to clean house, which I think are fair points. But let's be real. You can't fix decades of rot overnight. You can't. You cannot fix decades of rot. Decades of rot. I mean, we're talking, this goes back to probably the 70s or earlier. You can't fix decades of rot overnight. You just can't. And that's why, you know, watching Patel unload on Adam Schiff, I mean, it was cathartic. Goodness gracious, man. Schiff tried to destroy him during the Russia hoax. And now Patel turned the tables with righteous fury, calling him out to his face in front of everybody. That took courage that we haven't seen from an FBI leader in years. And it wasn't just Schiff. Cory Booker, he tried to spar with Patel as well, and it ended in a meltdown. Take a look at this.
Senator Booker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Patel, I want to start off where we left off last time. I asked you whether you had any knowledge or discussions about removing FBI officials and installing political personnel before you were confirmed to that position. And I wonder, did you then understand or have conversations with the White House about the intentions to do so?
Before I was confirmed?
Yes, sir.
Did I have discussions with the White House to remove FBI personnel?
Yes.
No.
So you're saying that you had no discussions with the White House before you were in the position about the removal of any personnel from the agency?
As I was preparing for my confirmation hearing, I had numerous discussions involving the type of people that would be employed, and that those that were failing to meet the mark at the FBI would no longer be employed if I were confirmed.
And I'm assuming that mark had to do with loyalty to the Trump administration.
No, you're wrong.
Okay. I'd like to revisit another subject from that hearing. Did you testify, you did testify before the grand jury that President Trump had declassified the documents at issue in the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case. Is that correct?
I don't have the grand jury transcript. That's why I released it. Whatever it says is the best evidence.
That's what you said to Senator Whitehouse, that your grand jury testimony was publicly released. It has not been. In fact, in July, a court denied a news outlet's bid to get that transcript. But the court said quite clearly that you are free to discuss your grand jury testimony. So I ask you again, did you testify before the grand jury that President Trump declassified the documents at issue in the Mar-a-Lago classified document case?
And that is why I took your invitation to work with the department and the court to have that transcript released. And the transcript is the best evidence of what I said then.
So you're saying right now this committee can have access to what you said before the grand jury?
To whatever was released. Under my understanding, Senator, that the Department of Justice...
You and I both understand the law. Let me finish. I understand under Rule 6 of the Federal Rules of Procedure, a grand jury witness, in this case you, is not barred from sharing their grand jury testimony. This is an oversight hearing. This is germane to your integrity and credibility. You know right now whether or not you testified that President Trump declassified the documents at issue in the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case. Why are you refusing to answer that simple yes or no question right now?
Because the premise of your question is inaccurate, and
there is no premise to my question, but trying to get to an order of what is truth or not.
How do you how do you know what was asked in the grand jury if you weren't there?
Mr. Purcell, this is a mockery you're making of this hearing and simple questions.
It's a simple question. If you have
Mr.
a
Patel,
transcript,
during
you can
your
read the
nomination,
question, but you don't have it.
You promised that, quote, all FBI employees will be protected against political retribution. When I asked you, are you aware of any plans or discussions to punish in any way, including termination, FBI agents or personnel associated with the Trump administration, you explicitly said under oath that you were not aware of any plans to punish FBI agents associated with criminal investigations of Donald Trump. I don't believe you were truthful. Firing FBI employees based solely on the cases that they are investigating, their case assignments, is illegal, and you know that. A new lawsuit that's been discussed numerous times, filed by 3 FBI officials, alleges that you carried out Donald Trump's campaign of retribution, in quotes, against FBI employees for, quote, failure to demonstrate sufficient political loyalty. One of those plaintiffs has been discussed today, Brian Driscoll. Now, we know 20 years of distinguished service to the FBI before you terminated him. Special agent in charge of FBI's Newark field office, where he operated with distinction. Medal of Valor winner, Shield of Bravery awards. He's a patriot. You terminated Driscoll via a letter dated October 8th, 2025. And in that letter, you said that you were firing him pursuant to Article 2 of the Constitution. Well, you're not the President of the United States. And so I'm wondering under what authority you were allowed to terminate him.
That matter is under litigation, and I'm not able to discuss it.
Okay, well, discuss this. Did you have discussions with Stephen Miller about firing this particular person or about his continuance in the FBI?
Not that I recall.
How often do you speak to Stephen Miller?
Frequently on our Homeland Security task forces.
You frequently talk with Stephen Miller about subjects other than Homeland Security task force issues, correct?
I frequently talk to Mr. Miller about Homeland Security task forces.
Has Stephen Miller ever given you his opinions on how to run your agency?
Mr. Miller's interagency operations are invaluable to the FBI. That's what we talk about.
So you frequently discuss your job and your responsibilities with Stephen Miller and Pam Bondi, I imagine, as well.
Absolutely. She's the Attorney General.
Understood. Okay. Donald Trump promised to make us all safer. You have pushed out senior FBI agents with decades of knowledge and experience. In fact, this is the first time in FBI history that neither the director nor the deputy director have any experience with the FBI. You've shifted the agency's priorities primarily to pursuing Donald Trump's immigration enforcement agenda. According to ICE data, the Cato Institute, which is a conservative think tank, found that 20% of all agents have been diverted from their work to assist ICE immigration enforcement. 20%. Part of this operation is the work of mass law enforcement who jump out of cars, snatch people off streets at churches, schools, and their jobs and hospitals. Have there been any FBI agents who investigate crimes against children that have been assigned to immigration enforcement, yes or no?
The premise of what you say is
Have
entirely
there been
false.
any FBI agents who investigate foreign domestic terrorism?
You don't get to say America is not safer under this leadership.
I am not saying
America
that.
is safer because of the work of the FBI.
You're making a presumption of premise.
4,700 children.
Sir,
we have seized 6,000 weapons and 23,000 violent felons have been
FBI
arrested.
Agents who investigate human
Always shouting over. Always shouting over. Booker tried shouting over this man over and over again, whining about his time. But hey, Patel stood firm, refusing to be bullied, refusing to cave to emotional theatrics. You know, it was embarrassing for Booker, but refreshing for the rest of us to watch. And then came Mazie Hirono of Hawaii. I don't know, but she's got to be one of the worst senators in the Senate right now. She's got to be. She's got to be. She very may well be the least serious senator in the chamber. Hawaii. My Hawaii brothers and sisters, can y'all stop voting this crazy lady in? She barely can speak the language. She can barely speak English. And for the life of me, I don't understand why they keep sending her back to the Senate. Why? She tried a cheap gotcha about the FBI staffing, only to have Patel calmly explain that not only had no field office lost personnel under his leadership, but that every office had actually seen an increase. Mazie Hirono is she's something else, to say the least.
Instances of where the Biden administration had politicized the FBI to prosecute its political agenda?
Well, I won't speak for other people. Having been a target of that weaponization, having been a staffer on the House Intelligence Committee, having had the Justice Department weaponized against me for making the findings and leading the investigation of Russiagate, I know what that feels like. And that's why, as the FBI director, I'm committing to not ever have that ever happen again. But I'm also committed to fully investigating what was done, and that matter is still ongoing.
So I assume, I take it your answer is yes.
Yes, sir.
And you're firing those people, is that right?
Anyone that politicizes their job at the FBI will not work at the FBI.
Sorry about that, guys. I played the wrong daggone clip. Goodness gracious. Give me a second. Bear with me here.
One question I had is, that you are now requiring applicants to be able to do a certain kind of pull-ups, which a lot of women cannot because of physiological differences. Are you requiring these?
Hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute. Physiological differences between men and women. Yeah, you're hearing that right. I know I'm hearing that right, but you guys are hearing that right.
Kinds of pull-ups?
We are requiring a physical program at BFTC at Quantico because FBI agents carrying guns in the field have to chase down bad guys and do really hard work. The physical fitness standards of those agents
So are you requiring
appropriately
these
assessed.
kinds of pull-ups?
We are requiring everybody to pass the 1811 standards at BFTC. If you want to chase down a bad guy
Excuse me,
and put
the
him in
reason I
handcuffs, you
ask-
better be able to do a pull-up.
The reason I ask is that there are concerns about whether or not being able to do these kinds of harsh pull-ups is really required of FBI agents.
Doing
Anyway,
one pull-up
Mr.
is not
Patel,
harsh,
I
and there are
am
always
gravely
medical
concerned.
exemptions to that.
This is not a smart person. But wait. I thought there was no difference between men and women. I thought there was no difference between men and women, right? That's what they've been telling us for the better part of 4 years. She called a pull-up, a single pull-up, a harsh pull-up. I thought there was no difference between men and women. I mean, you got Democrats fishing for, fundraising clips out there to get smacked down with cold hard facts, man. The moment that tied everything together came during the exchange, during Patel's exchange with Senator Kennedy, which is the clip that I played earlier. When asked about the politicization of the FBI, Patel, he didn't dodge the question. He reminded everyone that he lived through it personally, that the DOJ targeted himself during the Russia hoax. We all know that it happened. Kash Patel knows what weaponization looks like. He lived it. And he promised under his leadership, the FBI will never be politicized again. Anyone who tries will be fired, period. Full stop. So sure, he hasn't fixed everything yet. He hasn't. And the swamp is still fighting him at every turn. But what we saw was a man standing his ground, calling out liars to their faces, and putting accountability on the record for all of America to see. Schiff, Booker, Hirono, they all embarrassed themselves. Patel showed strength in that hearing. Strength, which is something that has been lacking for some time. This is what turning the tide looks like. The weak are being exposed. The clowns are getting laughed off the stage. And the fighters are stepping forward. Now, again, I say Patel, he isn't perfect. I didn't really, I didn't understand the Valhalla thing that he said on Friday during the initial press conference there. I didn't understand that. But, you have the right to believe what you want to believe. Patel isn't perfect by any stretch, nor is any of us. But moments like this proves there is still men in Washington willing to go scorched earth for the truth. And that I can appreciate. I mean, I don't understand, and this is just my personal opinion, but I think if you want to join the military, they should set a standard, one standard, and that's it. On one hand, they'll tell us there's no difference, between men and women. There's no difference. If a dude wants to, quote unquote, identify as a woman, he can go out there and compete because there's no biological difference. But now you have Hirono on there saying that, hey, women have to do a pull-up, a harsh pull-up. A harsh pull-up. I mean, this is a lady that looks like she probably can't do a sit-up, but a harsh pull-up, to be in the FBI. It's crazy. It is crazy, man. But I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. You know what? I'm feeling okay. Still dealing with the allergies, but the Benadryl hadn't kicked in all the way. So let me see something here. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody, any super chats or anything like that. Thank you, Vernon W53 with the $5 super chat. It says, this is the turning point. Thank you. And thank you, Terry, is it Bellio? Hopefully I pronounced that properly, with the $5 super sticker. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I'm going to drop a link in the chat. I'd like to hear from you guys, man. If anybody would like to pull up for a quick second, we won't go long, but we'll go long enough. If there's anybody that would like to pull up, want to add anything to today's conversation, I'd love to hear from you guys. If not, I understand that as well. I know some people get a little shy, but I'm going to pin it to the top here. And that way you guys can see it. I think so. Anyway, hold up. Oh, and there's another thing that I do want to do for you guys real fast.
There we go. All right, so see the pin link there. If there's anybody that would like to pull up today, please let me know. You can do so. Shout out to Steve supporting your brother via Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. God bless you, brother. Appreciate the support. Thank you, Darren, as well for supporting the channel. I really, really appreciate you supporting the channel. God bless you, you and your family. Thank you so much for supporting what we're doing over here at A Righteous Perspective. Thank you guys very much. I really appreciate you. All righty. And my guy, Torrance Stevens, he has a Substack by the name of Thought Crime. Jones from Parts Unknown, banned on X. Hopefully he's back on X now at this point. But I want to gift 5 Substacks today. He has a great Substack, a great one, and he, puts and produces content on it on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, hey Steve, I had mentioned it earlier today. I had an allergic reaction, so my lips was swole up. I did not want to get on camera today with my lips swole up. But appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Hey, Kirsten, yeah. These are the same people that continue to say that men and women are the same, but then turn around and say that men and women aren't the same. They should have different, PT or requirements to join the FBI or the military. These are the same people. I mean, they're walking hypocrites, man. They are walking hypocrites. The link is above for anybody that would like to pull up today. I am going to gift. I'm going to gift 5 subscriptions to Thought Crime, Jones from Parts Unknown, banned from Twitter. So if any of you all would like to receive, and it's free, it's a gift, any of you guys that would like to receive a subscription, please shoot me a message, shoot me an email so I can add it and I can send it over to you. Mike C says, any thoughts on revisiting doing an evening show? I'm not sure. I kind of like the morning show, and the evenings are crowded. They're very crowded, and there are a lot of people that are doing evenings. So I'm not sure, and I kind of like the morning show. That way I can catch and discuss, things from the previous day, opposed to waiting until the evening time to have those conversations. So I'm not sure, but we may, I'm kind of considering maybe, at least maybe once or twice a week, if I can, with some co-host, and maybe we'll do something, at least once or twice a week in the evenings. I'm kind of considering that, but on a 5-day-a-week basis, nah, I think we're going to keep on with the morning show. But we may do at least maybe once a week to start, and then kind of go from there. And we can kind of do it, maybe do an evening show panel style, something along those lines. So we'll see. We'll see. But I like the morning show, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what things would look like in the evening, because there is a ton of people that are doing their shows in the evening, especially at a time when I would want to do it, which would probably be 7:38. It's probably between 7:30 and 9:30, at least start time in that time frame. So I'm not, 100% sure. I tried the evenings, and it really wasn't as successful as far as getting the viewers and things of that nature, because I know there are so many others out there that are that are working during that time. And then you're also competing with, a lot of your morning TV shows and things of that nature as well. Yeah. Oh, but you said you could call in during the evening. Okay. I'm thinking about at least one day a week in the evening, doing a later in the day show. I am thinking about that. So I got to figure out, and I wouldn't want to do it by myself. I'd have to have a co-host or two to kind of help push things along. Because doing this in the morning, it's a lot. It's a lot. It really is. But I definitely agree. I appreciate you guys pulling up and hanging with me for a bit. All right. So if anybody would like to receive a gift, just shoot me an email, admin_wives at proton.me. As far as the book club goes, I have to think about that. I like the idea of a book club. I'm an avid reader, as you guys know. Angela says she looks forward to the morning views with Wise. Appreciate that. Thank you. I have heard about it, Papa Dot. I did hear about it. I haven't discussed it yet. I was kind of waiting to see if there was any more information that was going to come out about it. But yeah, that is something that I'm aware of, and I've watched some of the local coverage of it. But yeah, I haven't covered it on my channel just yet, just because there's not a lot of information other than the fact that they did find this young man, hanging from a tree out there at I believe it was Delta State, if I'm not mistaken. And the little bit that I did find, a lot of folks are saying that, he did it to himself, the little that I have found. But and the coroner mentioned that, there was no signs of foul play. So, but I have heard about it, though. All righty. So I guess we're not going to get anybody to pull up this morning, which is fine. Okay. We'll get ready to get up out of here. And again, if there's anybody that would like a free subscription to my guy Torrance Stevens Substack, if you're into reading, shoot me an email address or shoot me an email, and I will take it. I will add you. Or add you as quickly as possible, if it is something that you want. I'm going to send a few out anyway, because I know, some folks that may be interested in, receiving the Substack anyway. So there's a few people that I'm just going to go ahead and send it to anyway, just so you all have it. If you want it. Alrighty. Guess we're not going to get anybody to pull up. Alrighty. Perfect. So, Marion, you said they found 2 people this week. I only heard about 1. Now, I did hear that something similar happened 4 or 5 years ago. I did hear that. But yeah, I'm gonna continue to keep my eyes on it and see if there's any additional information. Of course, if this is a hate crime of some sort, we need to cover it. We need to discuss it as well. But I also don't like to jump the gun when we're still waiting on information out there, so we can make sure that we cover it properly. All righty. Ashley Michelle with the $10 super chat says, hey, Wise, check out the MLK project. Should come out sometime this month. Chad Jackson does a great job sharing the deception caused by MLK rhetoric. Oh, I'm waiting on that. I know it hasn't released yet, and I know he's still raising money for the project. I like Chad a lot, man, and I appreciate what he's doing, out there. He's right there. I think this documentary is going to be, an extension to what Vince Everett Ellison produced, his documentary, Will You Go to Hell For Me? I think it's going to be an extension of that and probably go a lot deeper than that. Thank you, Ashley. D Surrey, thank you very much for the $10 super sticker as well. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Or sister, always do that, and then somebody will come back and be like, "Oh, I'm a girl. Oh, or a woman. Sorry about that." But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and when it comes out, I'm definitely going to buy it. I like to support the brothers out there that are doing good work. If you're doing good work, I want to support you. So I will purchase it, as well. So, yeah, Chad's doing some good things over there, man. Chad's doing some good things, man. He's a plumber, tradesman, and decided that he wanted to get into this space because he has stories that he'd like to tell. And it's phenomenal. Phenomenal. I love it. I love it. Phenomenal. So I'm definitely looking forward to watching it. Definitely looking forward to it. All right, got my guy LS up in here. I'll pull you up, LS. Make sure you guys hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. What's up, LS? How you doing this morning, brother?
Man, I found my avatar. I feel great. No, man,
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did.
No, but yeah, man, I'm at work, so I'm gonna make it quick. But I heard you talking about the guys that were standing behind Kirk or standing next to him, giving the signals.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, take it for what it's worth. But I saw it on another YouTube channel that they were saying that those guys were part of his security.
Okay.
And they are part of the same security that was overwatching Trump when he was, when they attempted to get him. Let me put
Really?
it like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. And their security force or whatever is Israeli.
Interesting. Okay. I hadn't heard that.
And
I have to do some digging on that. I'll have to do some research on that.
but when it's a foreign government, if it turns out to be
it's a whole lot deeper. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not just the surface thing that we're being told. But yeah, man, that's all I want.
I mean, it could be, it could not be. I think we're all. I know, a lot of folks look for, these conspiracy theories and things of that nature, and sometimes it can be, just as simple, as, hey, this individual, he did what he did, as they're saying it is, because I mean, in the grand scheme of things, based on the way it's described, you could definitely do it. Most of your college campuses are open. You can just walk around freely. I know they are out here. I know they are down there in Atlanta. The AU Center is open like that. Looks like we might have lost LS. All good. But you never know. But I know, a lot of times the conspiracy theorists, they definitely they always show up, in these times. Thank you, Queen Chloe, for the $10 super sticker. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Alrighty. Well, appreciate LS pulling up for a little bit. Okay, so Chester said, according to Tatum, that they are TPUSA security and have been with Charlie for years. Okay. All right. Yeah, Papa Dodge, you're absolutely right. If you've ever, shot using a scope, you don't really see what's going on around. And they also said that they did, I hadn't heard that they found any binoculars or something like that. 200 yards out to see signals and things of that nature would be difficult to see with the naked eye. B, I know how you feel. I know how you feel. I understand. Alrighty, guys. Well, we'll get up out of here. Lord willing, all will be well. I'm already, I can kind of feel, I have to go look in the mirror because I hadn't looked at myself yet. But I would assume that, things are getting better. I do appreciate your prayers and continuing to keep me lifted up as well. I definitely appreciate that. Today might be one of those days where we're fasting. Because they say when you start going through things like this, these are the times that you need to fast. Especially if you're dealing with sickness and things of that nature. I'm not a doctor, so don't listen to me. But these are things that I just, have read. And fasting is biblical, and they would use it, for healing purposes and things of that nature. So I think that's where we're going to be at least 24 hours, at least a 24-hour fast of some sort. Annie, you're absolutely right. We are in some perilous times. I think we have been for quite some time. I think now it's more prevalent because we get a chance to see everything in real time. We get a chance to see everything in real time via social media. So, it may seem worse today than what you may have thought it to be 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago when we didn't have, social media. And I think a lot of it was certain information just didn't get out to the masses. And then obviously with mainstream media, they're only going to circulate what they feel like the people need to have circulated. And, with the, advent of social media and these phones on these cameras on these phones, it makes it easy. Now, I do agree with you, Steve. Why aren't security using drones? That's a great question. Maybe that's something that will be added, into security details these days. Not only you're having, boots on the ground, physical security, but also, having drones out there in the sky, as well. I think that would make complete sense in this day and age. And nowadays you have drone pilots that can be hired, that can be contracted out, for that purpose of surveillance, So, yeah, I would assume that is something that will happen. I'm almost assuming that the politicians already have it, although I guess they didn't have it last summer. When the young man tried to take out Trump. But I appreciate you guys. Shout out to all my blues pulling up this morning, keeping things peaceful in the chat. B, Brett Montgomery, Zephyr K9, LJ Taylor, Dion, who else? Nannies, Take on the World, Renee Suzanne, T.A. Caskey. Thank you to all my blues. Thank you all for keeping things peaceful. Shout out to all my ARP family members. If you'd like to support this channel, in a way, definitely, join the ARP family. Kirsten D, I am 100% on board with cameras in the classroom. I know they already have them in the hallway, but I'm 100% on board with cameras in the classroom. Especially, I think we should, especially in the elementary school, you should be able to pop in with the proper code and password. You should be able to pop in and see what your children are doing, what they're being taught. I think that's something that should have been done a long time ago. But nowadays, the technology is so affordable nowadays that it could be done. It could be done, but we need the people to go and demand it. Go down to City Hall at the what do you call those things? The school board meetings, and demand that, hey, not only you put cameras in these in the hallways like they do, but in the classroom, and we need access. We need to be able with a proper password, login, all that kind of good stuff. You should be able to do it. Appreciate that, Spaces. Wise Wednesdays. I like that. That kind of has a ring. I got to figure out which day, I want to do it, because I'm one of those kind of people. I like to be consistent. And I don't want to say, okay, yeah, we're going to do it. If I'm going to commit to it, I'm going to commit to it. I'm like that. I like to be a man of my word. And as a man, all you have is your word. That's what my grandfather would teach me, what taught me back in the day, or would learn me, as he would say. He was like, he used to always say, son, sit down for a second. Let me learn you something. You know, that's old school. Let me learn you something. Sit down. Which meaning that, hey, we're about to have a conversation, and most of this is about to go over my head. And when you get a little older, it will make sense. When you get a little older, it'll make sense, and you'll understand exactly what I was talking about. Yeah. Now, AI, when my youngest son was in childcare and pre-K, yes, they had cameras in there, and you know, it wasn't to where you could look at it on your phone, but you could pull up to the school, and you know, in the front lobby area, they had it to where you could go and look at the camera, so you could go and see what was going on with your kid without you distracting your kid. You had the ability to do that. If you want to pop in during a lunch break or something along those lines, you had that ability to do so. But I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning, man. God bless you all. Appreciate you all. Thank you guys very much. We made it through, and I appreciate you all bearing with me, you know, not being on camera this morning, but we made it through, man. You know, I was concerned because I was like, man, you know, what am I going to do? I don't want to be on camera. And the next thing you know, somebody didn't take a screenshot and got me looking crazy. You know, got me looking crazy with my lips all swole up. Because I woke up this morning looking like, oh my goodness. Oh man. Yeah. But I appreciate you guys, man. Hey, y'all enjoy the Wednesday. It is hump day. Tomorrow, obviously, is Friday Eve, but take each day and enjoy each day that the Lord has given you, you know, and appreciate it and give thanks for it, because we should. So, you know, I appreciate you all supporting me. Thank you, Hunter. Appreciate you, brother. And yeah, I'm gonna go get some rest. You know, I'm gonna go lay down for a little bit, get a little bit of rest, but I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to all my ARP family members. And thank you to everyone that supported the channel financially this morning. I appreciate you all. And, you know, as always, man, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Y'all take care, man. God bless. Peace.
We won't stop. I won't quit. Stand for the truth. No counterfeit. Real ones rise. Let the fake ones split. Repent for the lies. Let the darkness live.